Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another First Impressions video. In today's First Impressions video, we are looking at my brand new to me Rock Ridge 1903 A4 Sniper. There are no sponsors to the channel right now. How you can help me out is just simply by hitting that subscribe button, ringing the bell, and commenting down below. I can't tell you guys how motivating it is to do a video like this or anything else on my channel and see you guys interact down in the comment section. It really helps drive some fire in me to get out more and more content. And if you're looking for things that are not necessarily gun related at all, to diversify your subscription feed, FF Lifestyle, my B channel. We are almost at 400 subs as of filming this right now, and I would really appreciate your help to get me to 1,000. All you got to do is hit that card and hit subscribe. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. My goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield and he in whom I trust. As that cringeworthy intro is done, okay, I didn't even turn the magazine shut off for that. This isn't that channel, man. I can't do, I wanted to so badly, like, have the budget to dress up as Private Jackson from Saving Private Ryan and do a whole intro scene. I'm a one-man show here, guys. I'm a one-man show. I don't have an entire editing crew. I don't have all of this gear to be able to dress up in and do all of these things. So you guys get what you get. You know what the deal is. It's a 2014 style Firearm Freedom review. I don't even know if I'm going to keep that intro. It makes my chest hurt like I'm in cringe purgatory on Reddit. But you know, I thought it was funny, so maybe some of you guys will as well. All joking aside, I am like vibrating with excitement. That sounded interesting. I am vibrating with something about this rifle because I have wanted it for so long. Of course, it is no surprise that what motivated me to have such interest in a 1903 sniper was Saving Private Ryan. And seeing Saving Private Ryan as a kid, that movie truly shaped at the time almost every view I had about guns, and it made me run around in the backyard, dig trenches for my G.I. Joes. I noticed a company called Gibbs back in 2013-ish putting out these 1903 A4 snipers, and these are complete reworks of an original design. This is not an original 1903 really in any way anymore, but these were coming out. You could generally find them from anywhere between $800 to $1,100. At that time in my life, I couldn't even dream of purchasing an item for that amount of money. So I just unfortunately had to let them pass. And they did such a select run of these rifles that I never saw one again. And prices kind of skyrocketed. This is not a Gibbs rifle. This is actually a Rock Ridge rifle, and this is coming right out of Ephrata, Pennsylvania. From my understanding, Rock Ridge was actually the original company that manufactured these rifles for Gibbs as well. So Rock Ridge was kind of this parent company. I do know that one other company, James River Armory, was manufacturing a similar 1903 A4 sniper build. And if I'm not mistaken, Rock Ridge may have been supplying those as well. So Rock Ridge was kind of like the head company for all of these 1903 A4 snipers. This is off of a drill receiver that was decommissioned. So they essentially re-welded, retacked these receivers and had a surplus of 1903 A4 receivers in order to manufacture them into essentially a new production 03 A4 sniper. And In the beginning, a lot of people were skeptical and complaining about potential issues and reliability problems with retacking a receiver in this way. I have not seen any examples of these rifles imploding or anything like that, so I am not too worried about it personally. I believe they did see those complaints and change how they were getting or sourcing these receivers and how they were welding them and making sure they were done properly. But they even commandeered Hilux to remanufacture a standard M73 G2 optic for this platform. Now, this would have been kind of more of the bulk package optic for a 1903 A4 sniper, but it is very true to the original. You have, I believe, a fixed 2.5 power optic here. Reminds me exactly like those old BB gun Tasco scopes from back in the day. And I was actually pleasantly surprised at how easy it was to connect on target with this optic. Everyone that I handed this rifle to was very surprised at how easy it was to pick up targets quickly and clearly with this optic. You see this kind of tube piece of glass up here, you're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to see anything. But surprisingly, it worked really, really well at the range. Now, I was shooting this primarily at 100 yards, but I did bring it out to 300 yards, and this thing was stacking them into steel and smacking that plate at 300 yards without issue. Damn. Fucking, that sucker smacks that plate at 300, dude. Just aiming center mass on the steel plate every single time, just smacking it, smacking it, smacking it, and it felt so nice. Now, I was shooting this the entire day in a tripod, and primarily the reason why I was doing that is I wanted to take out all of my potential error and just see really what this rifle was semi-capable of at 100 yards with a variety of ammunition. What Rock Ridge did, contract Criterion to manufacture a brand new barrel. And this is a Criterion Rock Ridge barrel, and you can see there it's kind of funny. It's circa 2012 rather than 1943 or 42. And I have seen zero complaints about the Criterion barrels. Those barrels are what you still see today in CMP distance matches and other things like that when people put together 1903 rifles. So that barrel did well at the range. And I shot a variety of ammunition from standard PPU 165 grain soft point and some Remington 30-06. This was just standard 150 grain full metal jacket. And then what performed the best, surprisingly, was the 150 grain Hornady American Whitetail. And that ammunition printed under an inch at 100 yards, or right about an inch. There was one flyer that was probably me, but I believe in, let's say, a lead sled taking out more human error, that American Whitetail would have printed easily under an inch at 100 yards, and that was what was stacking so easily at the 300-yard target without issue. And the other loadings, it was doing okay. It definitely favored that American Whitetail. I mean, it was kind of dramatically opening up with the 165 grain and also the 150 grain standard full metal jacket to 2 3/4, maybe closer to 3-inch groups. So I thought that was a little interesting. It was definitely more picky with that ammunition. You have a newly manufactured stock. This is the only thing about this rifle that, I really debate with myself about trying to source a 1903 A4 original sniper stock for this rifle, just because it looks very new with this stock. If you didn't have this stock and you had like kind of an oil-soaked original stock, obviously you could restain and finish this in some boiled linseed oil or something else to give it that look, but it would really look the part. It would be very difficult to tell the difference until you get up close. The trigger on this rifle, very interesting, and I'll be honest with you, not great. So you have, I'll try to ghost it with you guys here. You have some take up but it's not really a two-stage. So you get to this wall, and then there's no discernible point of break. Like you just squeeze, and it at some point in that squeeze is going to let go. And I really noticed that at the range. Also, that mixed with the fact that this rifle with 30-06 is definitely quite the punch into the shoulder. Now, that's full power 30-06 ammunition. Would I recommend using full power 30-06 and say an original 1903 A4 from the 30s or 40s? I mean, probably stick with M2 ball, although the rifle could easily accommodate it. You don't have an op rod that could potentially bend if you go too hot or whatever. So it should be fine, but this brand new rifle is definitely fine with any standard modern 30-06 ammunition. You should not have any issues with the brand new Criterion barrel. Once I zeroed the optic, which was surprisingly easy, I had no problems holding zero or anything like that. Again, surprising with this optic. I even kind of was chucking it around in the back of the trunk because I didn't have time to throw it in a bag, and it's still, again, being bumped around, did not lose zero, which I thought was awesome. Similarly to my Moss 49 video that I just dropped, in my full-time gig, I'm a sales rep, and I'm constantly traveling around different gun shops in the great state of Pennsylvania, and this was actually up at Heritage Guild over in Easton, Pennsylvania, and it was so weird. I had this rifle on my mind again. I have been looking at them on and off for 10 years. What's the price at? And you just can't find them. That you just can't. There might be one that pops up on Broker, and that's about it. And all of a sudden, randomly, at this shop that I was not expecting to really see any surplus at, I walked in, and center of the show floor, right on the wall, was this rifle. I'm like, no freaking way was that thing just chilling there. And I did, of course, all of my sales duties, and at the end of our meeting, I was like, and actually, one more thing, let me see that rifle. It was like $2,500 for this, and I'm like, there's no way. And in my mind, I'm like, if you can get me under $2,000, I would consider it. The last one I saw on Broker was like $1,900, $1,800. I'm like, if you can get me around there, I would consider it. Can you look at it? It was obviously used. So they're like, man, this thing has been here for forever. How about we go $1,950 for you? And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm never going to see another one of these again. Let's do it. And I, of course, did it. A lot of people kind of view these as the bastard child when it comes to 1903s and not holding a lot of value at all because it's a brand new rifle. It's not really even a military surplus rifle anymore. Consider it the same as like if a modern Springfield M1A was military surplus. Obviously, it is not. It's a complete rebuild. But in my eyes, it's still really cool. And I wanted a 1903 A4 sniper that I could shoot, that I could, just absolutely have fun with. And I also did not want something that was going to break the bank at like 5 or even freaking 8,000 these days. I'm not getting into it at that. I'm not that into this rifle that's what I view it as. And quite frankly, since they made so little of these in 2012, 2013, I actually think these rifles are a relatively solid investment these days. The other issue that I have in purchasing an original, it is very, very difficult to tell whether or not you have a true 1903 A4 sniper from back in the day. A lot of those were kind of rebuilt and reworked at some point in their lives. So it's very difficult to justify the prices that those things are currently bringing. I did notice a very weird magazine issue. I'm not sure if I even caught it on camera, but trying to seat the second round, it would not freaking bypass the lips on the magazine. I don't know what the deal was. I was just trying to figure it out. My good friend that was at the range with me has a few 1903s. He said he's experienced it with his, and you have to bring the second round kind of up at an angle, drive it down like diagonally into the magazine, and that weirdly worked. So I don't know what the heck the deal was there. That was very annoying. It was very, very annoying, but not enough that I would say it's like an extreme issue. The only thing I could imagine is that whatever coating they had on this, It looks Parkerized, but a lot of people online were saying it's actually not Parkerization and more of some sort of a paint. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not. We're talking like 2013 forums here, so I might be wrong. But whatever they coated this with, it definitely seems to be impeding that magazine a little bit, making it a little rough. So I might go in there and just kind of work it a bit to just see if I can work out those kinks. I would not hesitate again purchasing it at that price. Many of you might think I'm insane for paying that amount for this rifle, but in my eyes, it just checked off that box. It really did. I've been kind of in the mood. I started watching Saving Private Ryan for my routine, like third time every year. And I'm just in that World War II surplus mood recently, and that's where this rifle came from. It just magically happened in what I have called many times gun shop fate. And sometimes you just can't deny gun shop fate for helping you out with another awesome purchase like this. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is going to wrap up this video. If you have any other questions about this rifle or anything else on the channel, put them down below in the comment section. I'll try my hardest to get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description for the ways to support the channel. And as always, stay tuned for more great content coming soon.